The defense called several witnesses in the high-profile murder trial of a former North Charleston police officer, Michael Slager, on trial for the shooting death of Walter Scott following a traffic stop last April. News 2's Rebecca Collette joins us live from the courthouse in downtown Charleston with the very latest. Good evening, Rebecca.
Good evening, Brendan. Testimony really going late tonight. On the stand right now, a criminal justice professor from New York City who reviewed all of Officer Slager's uses of force as well as the situation between him and Walter Scott. And what he said is that all appeared to be proper and within guidelines of the police department. In cross-examination, when the solicitor brought up issues of use of force with a man that was running away, he testified that it wasn't just one person running away, that there was another person in the car, so there were other issues at hand when he pulled out his taser and used it against Walter Scott. We heard from a slew of witnesses today, and the defense wanted to make 2 points. One, they wanted to juxtapose Walter Scott. They wanted to paint him as a drug user, and they wanted to paint Michael Slager as a good officer. And so that's how they called their witnesses today. On the stand late today, the chief of the North Charleston Police Department, he, along with Michael Slager's supervisor, took the stand. The supervisor saying that Slager had been a good officer, and the chief also saying he had been a good officer, although in cross-examination, the solicitor pointed out that there had been some issues with him not wanting to do paperwork.
This document initialed it regarding a complaint against Mr. Slager?
Yes, ma'am.
And those are your initials there?
It is.
Okay. And so when you testified earlier that there had never been any sustained issues with Mr. Slager, did you just forget that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In that situation, essentially, Slager didn't want to fill out a report following a house call. We also heard from a medical examiner today. The defense wanted to paint Walter Scott as a habitual drug user who could have been high at the time of this traffic stop. The judge said no. The judge said we couldn't tell, no expert could tell if he was high or how the drugs in his system were affecting him. We do know that he had cocaine in his system, but the expert today admitted it wasn't very much, and no one can tell when he ingested those drugs. It could have been even 30 days ago. Live downtown Charleston tonight, I'm Rebecca Collette, News 2.